This is your math gal, Julie Harland. Please visit my website at yourmathgal.com, where all of my videos are organized by topic. All right, we're going to do some different coterminal angle problems. Here's the first. Find the smallest positive angle coterminal with each angle given. So this is two separate problems. You're going to find the smallest positive angle coterminal with 1520 degrees. So why don't you try that on your own, and then we'll see how you do. All right, so smallest positive angle, that's a tricky way of saying it's got to be between 0 and 360, right? Because if it was over 360, then we could subtract 360 and get something in between 0 and 360. All right, so how do we do that? Well, we just could keep subtracting. There's a positive number bigger than 360. We could just keep subtracting 360 until we get there, or we could subtract some multiple of 360, which I'm going to do. So I know 360 times 2 is 720, so I'm going to subtract 720 all at once. So instead of taking 2 steps to get down to 800, I'm doing it in 1 step. That's still way over 360, so let's see, can I subtract 720 again? Yep. And I got 80 degrees. There I am. Now, you could have just subtracted 360, subtracted 360, subtracted 360. You could just do this. You'll get exactly the same answer. It's just there's more intermediate steps here. What's this going to be? 1160. And then you would subtract 360. There's your 800. It's just faster, to subtract 720 at a time, right? If you can. I think that's going to be 440. And then subtract 360 again. And you're still going to get 80 degrees, okay? So, you might do it slightly differently than me, but 80 degrees is the smallest positive angle, which is that angle between 0 and 360 degrees. All right, next one. Same thing. We're trying to find the smallest positive angle, but this is a negative angle, so we got to do this problem by adding 360 or adding multiples of 360. So let's see, if I add 360, I'm still in the negative, so I'm going to add 720 right off the bat. Okay? And I'm adding a positive and negative, so when you add a positive and negative, you just subtract. That's the same as 720 minus 650. And there I have it. 70 degrees. So that's the smallest coterminal angle. Now remember what this means. If you're looking at a picture, is if you drew this angle 70 degrees, I'm just going to sketch it like it's not up to 90, so it's up here, right? You'll get the same place as if you go around 360 and all the way up till you get negative 650. There you go. Did I go 2 whole times? Let's see. Nope, that's actually... Yeah, that's right, because I'm only going to negative 650. So it's 360 plus this extra will get you to negative 650. So it ends at the same spot. All right, same thing, except this time we're trying to find an angle between 0 and negative 360. So you want to try to get down into the negative. Now, we already found out, that was the first problem I gave you. We found out that by subtracting 720 twice, we got down to 80. If you remember, that was the problem we did right here. Remember this one? So we already know 1520 degrees is coterminal with 80 degrees. So we could start with that. Right? We know it's coterminal with 80, but we're trying to get a negative number, so all we do is subtract 360 degrees from that. Now, to do that, you really are just doing 360 minus 80 and putting in your negative sign. So my answer will be 280 degrees with a negative sign, right? There we go. We found an angle between 0 and negative 360 degrees that was coterminal with 1520 degrees. Okay, now this is not 1520 degrees, it's negative 1520 degrees. So we want to add some multiples of 360 till we get in this range. So let's see. How about adding 720 to begin with? You know, there's a lot of ways people might do this. So if we add 720, right, that's a multiple. That's going to give us at negative 800 so far. Okay. How about if we add 720 again? Is this going to work? Aha. It's interesting. It's very close to that first problem. In the negatives, we're going to add 720 again. So this one's coterminal with negative 80 degrees. If you remember, the first problem we did, we showed that positive 1520 degrees was coterminal with positive 80 degrees, and negative 1520 degrees is coterminal with negative 80 degrees. So you can see there's different questions people would ask you about coterminal angles. This is your math gal, Julie Harland. Please visit my website at yourmathgal.com, where all of my videos are organized by topic.